Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. It is so big.
Little in the middle, but she got much back.
Hey guys, Coach Ben Lee here, checking in day 5, getting mad feedback from everybody. So, question of the day is, how much protein do I need to eat? Great question. So, protein is the building blocks of life. Okay, so this is a set point that will never ever really change in someone's diet. Okay, without enough protein in your diet, you're not going to have enough uh, protein there for you to build muscle. Okay, so let me break it all back down and let's deconstruct this so that you guys have a better understanding of what's going on with protein, why you need protein, how much you need protein, and then at the end of this video blog, you'll know exactly how much protein you need to have in your diet. Okay. All right. So protein, what is it? So protein we get from animals, right? Pretty much, and eggs, fish, cows, beef, that sort of stuff. Everybody knows this, okay? Vegetarians like to get their protein sources from beans, legumes, things like that. Now, in my opinion, in my experience, protein from animals or of that variety makes it a lot easier for someone to achieve optimal health and body composition. Now, taking it back to podcast 4 about liver, podcast 4 about gut, podcast 3 about liver health and how bodies need different phyto-micronutrients to survive and be healthy, then this is part of who we are. We need meat to survive, okay? So this is why I believe that having meat in your diet is paramount when you're trying to achieve optimal body health. Now, there's a book out there that I read. It's called The Vegetarian Myth. Okay, this lady, she was, mozzies everywhere, guys. So this lady, she was a vegan for nearly 30 odd years. She got really sick, and it wasn't until she discovered the paleo diet that she was able to improve her health, and she no longer was needed to take all these medications. So for any vegetarians out there or people that want to continue to educate themselves, great book to read. Now, without enough protein in our diet, what will happen if we're exercising like most girls do that are motivated? You know, they're training 3 up to 5, 6 days a week sometimes. And if they're not eating enough protein, they're not getting enough protein in to help repair the muscle. So what's going to happen? They're going to catabolize their muscle. Okay, so their body is going to start eating their tissue to help recover and repair itself. So once again, you're bashing your head against the wall trying to get results. What else will happen is you will downregulate your immune system because you're not getting enough nutrients in. So you're putting too much stress on your body. Hope that makes sense, guys. Now, protein as a rule of thumb, 1.5 to 2 grams per kilo of lean body weight. Now, how that works out if you don't have any idea how much what you weigh body fat wise. So anywhere but range between 100 grams of animal protein to 150 grams of animal protein. So we're talking like 100 grams of steak, 100 grams of mince, chicken, stuff like that, or up to 150. Now, depending on the training age of my client, so if there's someone that's relatively new, that's just joined the gym, that doesn't have lifting experience over and above, quality lifting experience over and above 12 months, I'll just start them off with about 100 grams of meat 4 times a day. Okay, some people will say, holy shit, that's a lot of meat, but the reason why we sort of go down that path is because meat doesn't have an insulinogenic response like carbohydrates do. Okay, so it's a great fuel source to start somebody off on that's not going to negatively impact on their blood sugar. To add to that as well, the more protein we have in our diet, the easier it is for us to start to build lean tissue. Okay, so the more lean tissue we have in our body, the more that we can start to amp up our metabolism, the more carbs we get in our diet, and everybody's a happy camper. What else? Okay, so that's our baselines of protein. Like I said 4 meals a day. That's what I run off these days. You don't need to have 6 meals, okay? 6 meals, in my opinion, it's just too much effort. It's too much prep. you're getting the calories in. For the outlay, for the amount of for the results that you get from having 6 meals to having 4 meals, I don't think there's a major difference. Maybe if you're going down the competitive stage, you may want to opt up when trying to take 6 meals. But if you're just someone that wants to lose weight, tone up, then 4 meals a day of protein with your other macros that we're going to go into over the next 2 days will be suffice. What I like to throw in there is a protein powder as well. Now, depending on what time of day with the protein, depending on what time of day you train. Now, if I've got guys that are training in the morning, first thing, and they don't want to have a solid meal, then obviously a protein shake I suggest. Now, if you're going to train in the morning, I would suggest having a full-blown breakfast, because then you have more energy to put into your workout. Now, the more energy you have, the more of a hormonal response that you can drive and create a better afterburn effect, pretty much. Okay, guys. Protein, what else can we cover on protein? So, without enough protein in your diet, you're going to you won't support phase 1 of liver detoxification. So without enough amino acids in your diet, you're not going to support phase 1 of detoxification. Now, phase 1 of detoxification, this is very important and very sort of common, which I find in women, because you undereat protein. So this is another reason why you're not supporting your liver to help it detoxify itself, because you're not getting enough protein in. So taking it back when I was saying before, in podcast 2, in reference to single ingredient foods and getting whole foods into our diet, now you can see how much of the bigger picture that I'm trying to put together here for you. Okay, so first we need to get the basics right. We need to get enough protein in for the amount of exercise that we're doing, for the energy that's going out. Okay, so if we're not supporting phase 1 of detoxification and our liver's getting bombarded with toxins and we can't support it, then guess what? You guessed it. Hormones out of whack. On goes the fat on their legs, butts, and thighs, and that's why we're struggling to get it off, because we're under eating protein. Okay, so once we increase the protein, you will start to see a decrease in body fat off these areas simply by increasing your protein. Sometimes the simplest things are the easiest things, and we don't need to go looking for crazy radical things. Okay, always want to start at the start and get the basics down pat. So protein is the first thing that I look for. Probably the last thing that I'll wrap it up here, guys. So protein for breakfast. Okay, so 2 things here with protein for breakfast. One of my mentors, Coach Poliquin, he spoke to me about having protein for breakfast, and for one of the reasons being is that protein, the first 60 grams of aminos goes towards phase 1 of detoxification. So that's why you want to have a hearty breakfast, okay, of protein, so animal protein. The second reason why you want to have hearty breakfast of animal protein for breakfast is it's going to help stabilize the insulin, and it's also going to stabilize your neurotransmitters. So in my experience back in the day, when I used to have the typical bodybuilder breakfast of eggs and oats, by having the oats early in the morning like that, that would raise my serotonin and make me sleepy and tired. But because of the elevation of blood sugar that I had in the morning, because my body at that stage couldn't handle having carbohydrates in the morning. So what I've done is had instead proteins and fats. Okay, now every client that I have put this on, this is my number 1 fat loss tip. Okay, protein and good fats for breakfast. Okay, this will stabilize your insulin. It'll help you make better food choices. You'll feel fuller for longer. It's just the bee's knees, okay, guys? So get on that one for sure. If you're going to take anything away from this podcast, this blog or any of these blogs, this is one thing that I highly recommend that will change the way that you energy throughout the day, and it will change your habits when it comes to eating, and it will make such a massive benefit when it comes to you trying to drop body fat. Now, a lot of people will say, I can't do meat. Well, what my beautiful girlfriend, Coach Amy, started off doing, and it got me onto as well, was she made minced stir fries. Okay, so minced stir fries, so you get a packet of mince and you throw in some veggies into that, okay, mix that through so it's nowhere near as full on as a piece of steak for breakfast, even though I love a piece of steak for breakfast these days. You think back way back when, before cereals came about, what do we used to eat? Yeah, that's right, you guessed it. We had meat, okay, we had bacon, we had eggs, we had all these sorts of things. So once again, guys, get on that. Tomorrow, day 6, we're kicking in. We're going to talk about fats, so don't miss out on that one, guys. Ben Lee, peace out.
Little in the middle, but you got much back.